Okay. DGP 82. It's about 12 hours after Arsenal lost 2-0 at home to Newcastle in the first leg of the Carabao Cup. Good morning, Stephen.
Howdy. And I gotta say, Arsenal are not in the groove, but we've hit our groove over here, man. I feel like we've got a thing going early in the morning. This is a vibe. We're probably 2 months into this. We're at a steady state, unlike some folks that we watch on the telly.
Yeah, dude, the morning sesh is really great. I gotta be honest with everyone. It's obviously Wednesday. Happy hump day, everybody. Got work to go to right after this, so hopefully we can knock out a quick sesh and get it online out there to folks. It's nice, man. You get your coffee and you sleep on the result. I think that's helpful for sure, because yesterday I was in a pretty dark place and not so much today. Where to begin, Steven? Where to begin?
Let's start at the one note we've been hitting on for the last couple weeks. The unbeaten run. The train has stopped. Full stop. 13-game unbeaten run has ended with a 2-0 result. At home, kind of a surprise. I'll be honest with you, from the outset of this game, 15 minutes in, I was like, this is not good. Newcastle were all over us. Did you feel the same way?
A little bit. I thought we started the game well, but I also did feel like I just felt like they're a good team, man. Even going into it, I had called out they're looking like a good team, man, and they're going for that top 4 spot. It's a trophy for them as well, and I mean, in a weird way, the game kind of came down to them actually having better attackers than us. Like, when I'm sitting here and saying I felt like they were a good team, they looked better than us. Yeah, they did at times. I feel like this was the first game that we've lost where I just felt like we got beat. Like, we got beat out there, bro.
We straight up got beat. So 15 minutes in, game started. We're playing that slow ball. Fine. This is Newcastle. I feel like this is one of the first teams that figured us out early on. I call them a boogeyman, right? They've become like it's kind of a rival now out of nowhere, because the way they play us, the mid-block. Immediately, they settle into their shape. They let us slowly come at them. They win the ball, boom, and they're off. Isak is picking up balls early on. He's picking up balls, turning and running. It's like, what's going on? No one's touched tight. It's almost like we played directly into their hands. I mean, Eddie Howe, someone needs to get him on the phone. It's like a secret spy. Like, what is your game plan? And we need to run with that and do the opposite. Do the opposite, because I believe he's figured us out.
He does look like he has Mikel's number right now. And I mean, it's also not the first time that we've seen a team come to the Emirates set up differently than they usually do. The teams know exactly how to set up against us. This is worrying now. And in all honesty, I mean, the first 30 minutes of that game, I feel like we started to get a lot of good chances. But at the same time, I immediately noticed that their defenders were going to ground, blocking shots, right? That's in the Newcastle DNA, dude. I miss Benny Blanco. When I was watching that game, I was like, where's my defender who used to slide and block shots for me? And I mean, even across the line, not just Gordon, not just Isak, Murphy on the other side, I thought he played well too. And dude, they were missing 2 players. They were missing Shar, who's a very important center back for them. They were missing Guimaraes. And I remember when we played them in the league earlier this season, we lost 1-0. They didn't have Isak that day. So this is twice now they've gotten the better of us without some of their best players. So I don't even think that we can sit here and say, oh, we didn't have Saka. Like, they didn't have their players either. They haven't had it twice, and they've got our number. This is a worrying sign, dude.
They didn't have some of their best players. Of course, Saka's out, and we probably need to hit on that with as much as we went into meltdown mode. Our best player's not on the field. But the lineup we did put out, strong. What we had available to us, that's a strong lineup yesterday. Lineup comes out pregame. I'm hype. Like, we're going for it. We're trying to get the trophy going in the semi. Let's hit them hard at home. believe we said we wanted a 2-0 victory. If we got 2 goals on them going to St. James, we feel pretty good about it. So we did come out strong. It just wasn't written for us. Yes, the chances came. The chances were here, there, everywhere. Probably had probably about 4 headers within the 5-yard range. All of them over the bar, off target, all of them. I think we ended the game, man, with was it almost like 25 shots, 3 on target, something like that? Something crazy. Isak, boom. Gordon, boom. Easy. It was like easy money for them.
It was, dude. And I mean, they were playing so confident. It felt like it was weird. The first goal that we conceded, I don't think I've seen us have a defensive lapse like that in a long time. So that was a bit shocking, but you have to give credit to the finish. I mean, that's a striker's finish, right? You're sitting here a couple of weeks ago saying, Gabriel Jesus, oh my gosh, a striker's finish. Where was he? Where was he, dude? Gordon, I felt like the second goal defensively, I mean, this is not the first time that we back off a player defensively, give him that chance to take the shot, and then we pay the price for it. So that has to be addressed as well. But it was a little too easy for him in the pockets, dude. I agree with you. He was so good at finding the space between our center backs and our midfield, picking it up and running at them, or spraying it out wide and getting back in the middle. I agree with you that the lineup was strong. I was happy to see Trossard given a chance on the right wing. Obviously, we didn't have Winery. I do wonder, should Jesus have started out on the wing? Is that something that we'll see in the next game? But Maslow Skelly, I was excited that he got the shirt to start at left back. I think he, until we get another right back and Jurriën Timber can go at left back, right now Maslow Skelly is my starting left back. Dude, that is a shining star, I think, coming out of that game for me.
Easily. And I really like the comments sometimes I see online regarding him. It's like they haven't coached the talent out of him yet. The way we're playing right now, how almost lifeless it is at times. As a fan, you watching it, it's just like, this isn't the Arsenal I'm used to. But Lewis Skelly, you watch him, you're like, I remember that kind of ball. That's a player I remember having. Gets in those tight pockets, you're like, oh no. Somehow spins out of it, gets a foul. Yeah, there he is. 18-year-old kid on the ball, showing everybody like, let's do it, let's go forward, we can take them. It was tough sledding almost everywhere. I actually liked Trossard yesterday, and I have 3 moments from him that I believe we let him down a bit. First one, Martinelli. He played that ball to Martinelli for the 1-on-1. Number 2, he had taken a shot, laid a perfect ball off to Odegaard. As you said, Newcastle put the bodies on the line, defended him. Third moment, crosses the ball that gets deflected, put on Kai Havertz. Put on him. Missed the ball, put out wide. Dude could have had 3 assists yesterday, easy. Ended up with nothing. So I actually like Trossard and Lewis Skelly. I agree with you. He was our standout.
Yeah, and Trossard had a few moments too where he drew a foul. You know, he's really used his experience and body well when he's been given the chances. I didn't have too much of an issue with him. Let's talk about the big chance, dude. Obviously, you will get punished if you don't take your chances. I did wonder, did we get footballed yesterday? Like, was that just football?
That's a good question. Imagine if that goal goes in, right? Imagine if
it's over.
Imagine
it's
if.
over.
I think you're probably spot on with that. That's a good assessment.
I felt like we got a little bit footballed, man. But that chance, you watch it back, and it's the first time where, you know, Declan Rice gets the ball, lays it off quickly to Thomas Partey. Partey takes the 2 touches, plays it to Trossard. Trossard plays just a 1-touch pass. That's Arsenal, man. But those moments are coming too few and too far in between, man. It's not that great. Gabriel Martinelli, obviously he's through. He dribbles for about 40 yards. You've said it before this season. I don't expect him to finish those anymore. And he really said, Martinelli Hive, sit the fuck back down, bro. He said, you rose up too early, young man. It's time to go back down.
Oof. We've talked about this a couple times when we see certain players go one-on-one. Like, what is your general feeling? I felt good about that one yesterday. I'll be honest with you. I had a really, really good feeling for Martinelli there. He's gotten a couple goals under his belt. Seems like he's confident. The way he ran, fantastic. Those touches he was taking were great. I don't really blame him for that. I'm not going to blame him for that. Off the post, it still looked like it was a good, confident strike. Just off the post, man. That's tough going. I do like, I'm going to go overall, I'm going to go back out my lens a little bit. The fact that he was in the pocket he was in, first of all. He wasn't out wide. He wasn't out wide left on the touchline, doing his thing, taking the player one-on-one. Whoever said, Martinelli, go across the line. You can strike balls. You can be in a striker position. I like that from him. Him being on the right side, connecting with Trossard. Haven't really seen that a lot this season. But I know you feel a little different about the finish than myself.
I feel a little differently because I feel like it's a trend now. And that's worrying. That's why. Because this is not the first time this season he's been in a critical moment to ice the game or to do something good, man, and he's let us down.
And I feel like it's less than a trend, and this is the reality. I've said, I think months ago, it's like, we need to have a reality check with this player. Maybe this is just who he is. I think this is who he is.
Yeah, and are you okay living with that as the starting winger at Arsenal Football Club, bro? That's kind of what it comes down to, and I don't think so. I think if we're trying to go for the trophies that we are, if we have the base that we do, if we have the midfield that we do, how many times have I sat here and said, bro, Jurrien Timber needs his winger to attack, dude. He needs you to be good at attacking. He needs you to be consistent. I mean, even yesterday, Gabriel Martinelli, kind of the same inconsistencies that we've seen. So many crosses that were just corners or not a great ball. There was one I remember where he flicked it up to Odegaard, from 10 yards away from him. It was disgusting. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. But the decision making, the head down, it really makes you wonder, has he improved in the last 5 years?
No, I don't think so. We agree on that point. Absolutely. Do I think he has a place in the squad? Yes. Is he a starting left wing for Arsenal? No. When you have a world beater on the right side, he gets injured, you expect your starting left wing to kind of be the man, right? At least be the winger now. He's not. He is still not that guy.
And I'm starting to think, after these last couple of games, how much has Bukayo Saka been masking the lack of attacking power that this team has? Because it's not just Martinelli. I'm going to hit on this guy right now, bro. I'm talking to you now, Captain. Where have you been, Mike Odegaard? Where are you, dude? Where are you?
The invisible man yesterday. He was the invisible man yesterday. This needs to be more of a talking point. Saka is out. Well, we had a run without Odegaard out, right? And we did all right. We started really well. I think we had a good run of wins. We ended up kind of faltering towards the end of that. But we did have Saka, and he was producing. The man was producing. Saka is out now. To me, that is the optimal opportunity for Odegaard to now put his stamp on things. He has not done so. Granted, it's the last game he didn't play because he's sick and whatnot. But it's been a few games now, right? We're looking at a handful where he just has not performed to the level. He has not performed to the level, man. He is the missing man. It is very surprising. I believe we all are super confident in him, but it is now consistent handful of games. We're not just talking about onesies and twosies.
Yeah, and people online, I've seen them start to call him out a lot for flicking his hair, for pumping up the crowd. So people are also starting to notice other things now, right? Because I can't comment on your gameplay, so I'm going to start commenting all the different gestures and the things that you do on the pitch that are maybe not that great. I was happy that he took that shot when the moment came to him, but I don't know, man. I don't know what's gotten into him. Is it that he's being man marked? Is it the other team's awareness about him? Is it the fact that he had a baby recently? Is he a little distracted? I just don't know. But I feel like he started the season with a goatee. I was excited about it. I was like, here comes an experienced Odegaard, and I'm sure he's aware of it, that his performances have been subpar. I'm certain. I still think he should get us 5 goals in the second half of the season. If I don't see that from him, I'm going to be really disappointed with his overall season.
So I want to kind of stick on this Saka discussion, right? Odegaard should be the guy that steps up, but he hasn't yet. So question from Blue Sky. It seems like Arsenal are using the same rigid tactics despite the Saka injury. Can this continue / will this continue with the 6 games remaining in January?
Can it continue? I think it can, because the club says so. Will it continue? I think it will, because the club says so. And out of those 6 games in January, if I don't see a change in the next game, if I don't see a tactical change, if I don't see a personnel change, it's Wednesday today, so by next Wednesday, that's my 10 days. If there is still nobody through the door, I would say those next 6 games are 50-50. I don't even know who we're playing, but I would just say they're 50-50. Because, Steven, this is the second time now in a span of a month that we've been shut out at home. We scored 0 goals against Everton. We scored 0 goals against Newcastle. And some of the games that we've watched, I mean, the rigid tactics that you're calling out, are we actually set piece FC?
Woof. It's kind of gross. It kind of grosses me out a little bit. Set piece FC. I have actually a quote here from Theo Walcott, and when I read it, it's like, man, that's the truth. That's pretty sad. Let me pull it up here. It says, okay, this is from Theo Walcott. So with Arsenal at this moment in time, what worries me is they're getting excited by set pieces all the time instead of that free-flowing football. That's what Arsenal's known for. They're shying away from it. Myself watching this game, that's how I felt as a fan. We're getting set pieces, we're getting corners. I'm like, all right, we're gonna have an opportunity. We're getting a chance. When we're playing the actual game, I don't feel like we're getting any chances, man. So, is that what you want to see? Is that what we're promoting? Is that the tactic? I think from that question, the rigid tactics, I personally believed with Saka out, things would be changing. We're going to have to try some new things. We're going to have to be creative. I think I had said we're going to try multiple lineups, try new players in different places. No, it's the same, man. The slow build up, playing balls backwards, little bit of horseshoe. Let's pin them in their defensive area and just try to beat the ball against the wall and see if it goes in. Same stuff. Not excited by it.
Yeah, and I think stop looking at the XG.
Ooh.
Because I think half of the XG we get are set pieces. And I'm not satisfied with that, dude. I think stop looking at the XG. That's no longer a metric to be bringing up consistently, because we have eyes, dude. We have eyes. Now, do we feel like the XG was at least 2? It was at least 2 yesterday, right? That's how I measure it. But that's the eye test for you.
I believe it was, I saw quite a few where it was over 3. There's a lot of variation from like place to place, but it was like over 3. And a lot of fans are relying on that. And did you see the quote from Mikel after the game? Like, we had tons of chance. Basically, like, we should have won this game. The result of this isn't necessarily a fair result. Did you see that?
I'm starting to get tired of those comments from the manager, dude.
Oh.
I'm starting to feel like I'm being gaslit a little bit, dude.
I don't like it. I really don't like that from him. I don't like that from him at all.
I just feel like all those shoulda, woulda, couldas were scared of one little did. And you sit here, you say all those things, Mikel. How about you go out there and do it? I'm sorry. How about you go out there and do it, dude? If you dominated the game and you deserve to win the game, you should. Then where's the result?
Exactly.
Give me the result.
This is a results business, right? And you're saying we got footballed. Some teams play to football other teams, right? That's their tactic. So don't tell me, we should have won the game because we dominated possession because we had more shots. Well, what if that's what Newcastle wanted? We played right into their hands, maybe, huh? Or taking shots directly into five guys standing in front of them. That's tough. I'm thinking Dan Burn. Dan Burn loves to play against the Arsenal, bro. Big body. He's like, I'm just gonna stand right here, right in front of my sticks, put my chest out, and let a ball hit me. That's all he does. He loves it. He absolutely loves it. Set piece. That was our chances, man. It's kind of sad.
It is, dude. I think the Arteta out has been picking up steam over these last couple of results. I'm not going to lie to you. It has. I see it online. And I actually saw someone had a funny question, dude. They were saying, would you rather we don't sign anyone in January or we bring back Arsene Wenger?
That's wild. That's wild. Are you actually entertaining that?
I mean, did Arsene have a team as good as this in the last 10 years of his tenure? I don't think so. I don't think so, man. But was the football fun? Was it good? Was it enjoyable? Yeah, I think it was, dude. I'm not fully entertaining it. I'm not Arteta out. I just feel like it's all very reactionary. It's been a very difficult season. I don't even know who's out there to go and get if we are to replace him. I also feel like we're just about to kick off in the Champions League. There's still half the season left. We're still in this tie. It's not like we're completely out of it. It's not impossible for us to go and get 2 goals at St. James Park. It's going to be very difficult. And if we get scored on in the first 20 minutes, forget about it. But it's not impossible. I still give him some grace. There's this notion online that is a lot of fans seem to be Arteta out because of the lack of signing attackers. And I can't really differentiate if that's a manager problem or if that's a club problem. That's too hard for me as a supporter to figure out. And I feel like it's too harsh to put it on the manager.
I believe it's probably a little bit on him, a little bit on the club. I'm more worried about what we have on the field. If we don't sign anybody in January, they probably know whether or not they're going to, right? So if the plan is we're not going to sign anybody in January, that's fine. But show me what you're going to then do on the field. What changes are you making? We are without Bukayo Saka, our main man. Don't tell me you're running out the same game plan without Bukayo Saka. It has to be different, right? There has to be a wrinkle in it. Why are we running out the same tactic? And when we do run out this tactic, what do? We kind of hope and pray a little bit that he's going to make a moment for us, whether it's a nasty ball into the back post or he's going to cut in on somebody and take a shot. That player is no longer there. So I expect to see something different. I've said this before. This is where you earn your money as the manager. In these tough moments, this is where you earn your money.
Yeah, and I think there's 2 things. One, around the risk management. I've kind of struggled with his view of risk management and the margins that he talks about, because if you reduce the margins to your team trying to win by scoring headers are very difficult. I feel like that's one of the hardest things to do in football, especially like scoring a headed goal is tough, dude. The chances of that is like 20% of the time, maybe. And are we like happy with that? Wouldn't we be happier if we took more high percentage chances in front of goal with our feet rather than trying to rely on our head? And then the second thing is, and this is kind of sad, dude, after yesterday's results, I thought to myself, William Saliba, if you leave for Real Madrid, I don't blame you. After yesterday's games, I felt like I don't blame you, big man.
That's where it's heading, huh? You've said this last year, and it's kind of stuck with me a bit. It's like the notion of getting us to this point. Arteta, he's built the team. He's got us to this point. Hats off to the man, right? Incredible. From the mud to where we are now. But what if this is as far as he could take us? What if he doesn't have the experience to get us over the hump, right? As you get closer to the top, the creme de la creme, it gets tougher and tougher and tougher. So to increase us from that 50% of a squad to 90%, it's a little bit easier. To get that last 10% though, that's tough. That's the toughest part. What if you need somebody else? That's always stuck with me. I think I've referenced the Golden State Warriors before. They had a coach named Mark Jackson. He was their head coach. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, excellent team, but they just couldn't do it. Next year, they got a coach named Steve Kerr, won the whole thing, went on a three-peat. The rest is history. They're a dynasty now. But that one coach got them to the point where they were contenders, but they needed someone else to come in and get them over the hump. I feel if we come to the end of the year and we don't end up with anything, I could really strongly feel myself going in that direction. As of right now, we're still in competitions, like you had said. We're still in everything. We're not kicked out of anything, and we are sitting very high in positions. But those days will come, huh? We'll see at the end of the season.
Yeah, they're not that far out, man. They are not that far out, and it'll be sad if that's the way it ends, obviously. But there is questions, dude. He brought on J20 with 30 minutes to go, and we were losing 2-0. Like, you might as well just be saying to me, turn the TV off. Turn the TV off, bro. Like, turn the TV off, bro. Click, click, man. I'm not having it. What are you doing, bro? That's tough, man. Like, was that the equivalent of the manager throwing in the towel? Was he saying, he took TP5 off, dude? Was he saying TP5 come off? Mikel Merino didn't play. Calafiori didn't play. Why did we only use 3 subs? We have 5 subs. So now there's just like weird things happening within the game management that has been a consistent theme. So I'm not necessarily Arteta out, but I'm starting to get the case from others as to why they might feel so strongly about it at this moment in time.
Maybe that's a good way to put it. You can see the case for some folks. I would like them to take more chances personally. If you take the chance and it doesn't work, I'm all right with that. Putting a J20 at 6 for the last 30 minutes, it's not taking a chance. You're really not taking a chance. Now, if you had put on Calafiori and you moved Lewis Skelly into the midfield, you're taking a chance. You're going to try to win the game. In my opinion, that's a tough move. That takes some balls. Hasn't been a lot of moves from the guy that I'm like, damn, that takes balls. Can't think of a lot.
That's true. Even Zinchenko yesterday, could he slot in somewhere more attacking? I don't know, man. I mean, Jurrien Timber, I got to be honest with you, not his best game. Not his best game yesterday.
Not his best game. He's been Mr. Consistent. And then he let out a big fart yesterday. It started with that header, man. He was the first one to have a header within 5 yards. Put it over. Not a great game from the dude. Anthony Gordon, gotta give the dude credit. Like Anthony Gordon, ugliest mofo in the league. One of the ugliest mofos in the league, I'll say. And he had his number.
Does he get into our team?
Does he get into our team? Yeah, he slots right in. He becomes the main man right now without Saka. You kidding me?
So I have to ask you this. Obviously, the game. Let's put it in a bin, man. Let's move on from it. Unless there's anything else you want to say.
Bin it.
Click. For January, at this moment in time, after these last couple of games that you've seen, are you of the mind that we need a right winger or that we need a left winger?
I suppose a left winger, but it doesn't really matter. I would just say winger, just in general. It doesn't matter to me. Attacker. I would prefer an attacker.
Yeah, I think so too, dude. I think I've been thinking more and more about that summer transfer window, and maybe in the moment I was too excited about some of the things that were happening. Maybe I was giving too much blind credit because I've been impressed with the last few windows. But the reality of it is we signed a cup-tied goalkeeper. I didn't even realize that. Like, Neto hasn't even played because he can't play in this competition. That's Bance, dude. Sterling, he was on the bench yesterday. Didn't get in. So, again, is it the manager or is it the business that we're doing? Who's to really take the full blame? I think as an Arsenal fan, this is not the first time that I find myself in this situation. And it's not because of this manager. It's not because of the sporting director. Like, those roles have changed, dude. But I'm still finding myself in this position. So something within the hierarchy, something within our decision-making process has to be improved upon, dude. Is the club banking too much on players maintaining stellar forms? Because, like, we can't count on Gabriel Jesus, dude. We can't count on Gabriel Martinelli. They're just not consistent enough.
Consistent enough. Absolutely not. In my eyes, the rotation of players has always been interesting. We always like to say run it back mode. Running out Martinelli week in, week out when he's not playing well always was interesting to me. Playing players in positions like Trossard at the 9 and then Havertz off of him in the 8. It would work for 3 weeks in a row. It would stop working and then we wouldn't see it again we haven't seen it again for months. But it really worked well for a while, right? Why not just every once in a while? New look. Let's go back to that. That's what I figured when Saka's out, and I had said on the pod then, I was like, to me, there's a silver lining there. We've seen a lot of rotations. We've seen a lot of chemistry built between different players. Let's see what we can do. I haven't seen it yet. It has only been 4 games without Saka. I believe we have 2 wins, 1 draw, and now 1 loss. Not terrible, but the competition in those 4 games hasn't been great, except Newcastle. I'm a little bit worried with 6 games remaining in January. It's going to be tough sledding the rest of the season, man. It's going to be tough.
It is going to be a very difficult second half of the season. I agree with you. And I'm sitting here with the train back at the station, and tickets are on sale, dude. It's like 50% off out here.
I love that. It's Black February or Black Friday in January.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it really is, man. And as I'm boarding and I'm speaking to the conductor, we're not sure how many stops in a row we can go at this moment in time. You're saying 6 in January? I hope we find a form, but I can see it being very much so a bumpy ride, dude. There's going to be some logs laid in front of the train tracks.
Very bumpy ride. I don't know what I expected, to be honest. Maybe I took for granted how good Saka is with him being out. Maybe I took for granted what Odegaard is. I'm not sure. I really was confident and I was feeling good. I've really lost a lot of confidence just watching this. Seems like there's a lot of cracks in the team right now. There's a lot of cracks. Would have Ben White injected in this squad add something? Absolutely, it would. Is it going to make us really go? Start the train, chugga chugga? Don't know if that's true. It's a long way to go. Looking for our silver linings are still the same as they were 3 weeks ago, right? 3rd in the Champions League. We're still in the semifinal, albeit we're down 2-0 on aggregate. We're sitting 2nd in the league. Liverpool had dropped some points, so we're still in touching distance, putting a fingertip on their back. FA Cup this weekend. I don't see a good result from us against United. 3rd round of the FA Cup, not a lot of pressure, but don't see a good result. Silver linings are still the same, which doesn't feel good, man. It just doesn't feel good.
It doesn't, dude. And I mean, Manchester United at the weekend, Sunday, I think we played early in the morning. And I'd like for us to try and field a strong team. I know that right after Sunday, basically we have a 2 days of rest, and it's Wednesday, and we're in the North London Derby in the league. And then after Tottenham, I think it's Aston Villa. So that's 3 very difficult matches coming up that could really send some fans over the moon, dude, and not in a fun way.
You could say that's a make or break. right? We've said in December was make or break when we've lost the titles the last 2 years. Maybe it's January this year. Make or break. That's a tough run. Tough sledding. If we end up going out of this cup, the EFL Cup, we lose to I'm not even gonna say it. I'm just gonna say this could be make or break.
It really could, man. It really could. So the lineup for the United game, I expect a good lineup. I think the team should be ready to go again in 2 days for the derby. They'll be up for it. I think maybe. I mean, this is the thing. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking 1-0, Steven. I'm thinking just squeeze out a 1-0, dude.
It's that kind of feeling, man. It is that kind of feeling. Our defense is still there. Yeah, maybe Newcastle was an outlier because we were all over the place. They really did pick us apart at times. Defense is still solid. It's all about the goal scoring. All about the goal scoring, as it has been. So 1-0 is, I think, a good. I don't think they'll score on us. I don't think United can score on us. I'll go 1-0 with you, man. Back that.
Squeeze one out, dude. That's all we can hope for. I don't think we will have another podcast until after the North London Derby game. Maybe we'll try to get one out beforehand just to do a preview. But I doubt it, chat. So enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the game on Sunday. Up to Arsenal, man. We'll see you on the other side.
Easy.